Ahoy!
Welcome to another episode of the Bottom of the Stream Movie Show. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome aboard.
How are you, Nick?
Great.
Yeah, me too. Excited?
Yes.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
We're like 5 days late for Halloween now.
I know. Plus, we blew our Halloween load on the wave this week.
We did.
By talking about Halloween activities.
Before we started recording the wave this week, we're like, we'll have a shorter wave this week. And then it went for like nearly an hour again.
I know.
Because we just talked about Halloween for ages at the beginning. So maybe let's not do that this time. But as always with Halloween specials on Bottom of the Stream, we try and pick something as far from Halloween as we can.
Because we do loads of horror movies.
Yeah.
All throughout the year, because there's loads of horror movies on Netflix. and
we also
specifically at the bottom of the stream.
We also, away from the show, watch quite a lot of, well, I do watch quite a lot of horror movies anyway. So Halloween is a time for fun, music, and animation.
Of course it is.
And that's what we've gone with this week.
We have.
So, because this week we watched a film called Arlo The Alligator Boy. It's from this year. It's from 2021. It came out in March, I think.
Okay.
May is the answer to that.
Good. I didn't ask a question, but that's fine.
Okay. It's a PG, and it runs for exactly 1.5 hours, and it's currently rated at 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
That's quite high.
Highly rated. It's also spawned a spin-off show called I Heart Arlo.
Yes.
I've not seen any of that.
No.
Don't know what it's about. That came out in August.
I do know a little about it.
Okay.
We'll get to it at the end.
Let's get to it at the
I
end.
don't want to spoil the movie.
No, definitely not. Stars a guy called Michael J. Woodward as Arlo. Do you know anything about him?
I do not.
He was a finalist in American Idol in 2018.
Excellent.
Came fifth.
Got a good set of pipes.
That's got a good set of pipes. This is pretty much the first thing he's done since then. He never released an album
No.
after American Idol. Became Arlo. And is now making a living off being Arlo, I guess.
Good for him.
Also stars a lady called Mary Lambert. She plays Bertie.
Yes.
She was rejected for American Idol.
I can see a pattern forming.
Yes, you can. There's quite a few cameos in this as well, but I would say that Jonathan Van Ness plays Felicia.
Yeah,
Isn't a cameo?
No, I think it's
I
more
think
than a
he's
cameo.
one of the main characters in the film. Felicia's just a ball of pink fur.
Yes.
And is beautifully played by Jonathan Van Ness.
And is like a hair
It's a hair
stylist type.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is exactly what he does in Queer Eye.
Yes. And then Tony Hale plays Teeny Tiny Tony.
Yeah.
Which might be the best character name we've ever had on the show.
What is he? Is he a rat?
I think
He's got a
some
tail.
sort of rat mouse.
He's like an Italian pizza owner who's a rat, but he also has a moustache.
There's a strange world in Arlo the Alligator Boy.
Sure.
Because Arlo is a humanized alligator, half boy, half alligator. But there aren't any other there's not many other animal-human hybrids in this film.
There's a few.
You meet a couple, but they just seem to be accepted in the world.
Yeah.
The humans just are like, there's an alligator baby boy.
Yeah, but we'll get to that because one of the themes of this movie is acceptance, and it's okay to be different. You know, all forms of it doesn't matter what you look like, what your beliefs are, what your
that's
sexuality
what it's all about,
is. There is a lot of. I would say this is quite a positive message in this film about minorities, whether it be sexuality, race, religion. That's what this is going for. That is the underlying thing of this movie.
Absolutely.
I may sound like I'm going deep on a kids movie already.
No, I think you're right.
Definitely there by design.
It's one of those kid movies as well that's got the stuff there for the kids, but there's also an adult audience targeted at as well. Do you know who Tony Hale is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he's been in loads of stuff. Most famously, probably played Forky in Toy Story 4, didn't he? He was the voice of Forky. But he's in loads. He's in Arrested Development.
It's Arrested Development
Veep,
for me.
Yeah. American Ultra. He's in loads and loads of stuff. He plays Teeny Tiny Tony, and I love that name so much. And I love that character. I think it's one of the best characters we've ever come across. Written and directed by a couple of people called Ryan Crego and Steve Nicholson.
Okay.
Ryan Crego cut his teeth as a story artist on all of the Shrek spin-offs, but none of the Shrek films.
Okay.
So things like Puss in Boots, the Shrek Christmas, the Shrek musical.
Right.
He was the story artist on all of those films, and that's where he cut his teeth. And Steve Nicholson was the lead story artist on the Cat in the Hat TV series.
All right, okay.
So that's where their animation background is from. Do you have a one-word review of Arlo the Alligator Boy?
Alligator.
Alligator.
Yeah.
Good. That is one word. Made up word, but it's one word. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Where's this film start, Nick?
Well, I thought it was space at first.
Why?
Because it looked like space.
Okay.
but it wasn't.
It was New York.
Yeah, I know, but it was like
Yeah.
what it was the reflection of the sky in the water.
Yes.
And then we kind of panned round and we're in New York.
Yes,
And then I've just put New York -jazz exclamation mark.
There's an early song about New York, isn't there? And basically, there's a baby in a basket.
Yes, Moses basket.
Moses basket in the sewers in New York.
Correct.
And it floats away. And it floats out into the ocean. It gets fed by a seagull.
Yeah.
Early on.
Seagull regurgitates into the basket.
And it's basically this...
Goes past a party boat.
Yeah, it goes past a man on the beach who chases it for a little while. It's a montage of this baby in this basket getting to where it needs to be. And it ends up in some sewers or... No, it ends up in a swamp.
We're in the bayou.
In the bayou. So it's travelled quite a long way from New York to the bayou via the ocean. That's a long way.
Just ended up, we're in sort of New Orleans.
Yeah.
That sort of, but we're in the swamps.
Yes, we are. And it gets picked up by an elderly lady, and we hit the title card. And during the title card, many years pass.
Yes.
Because this little baby, who is Arlo, obviously, grows up and becomes an alligator boy.
I believe he's around 15.
Yes, I think that's the age they were going for.
We will soon find out. He's exactly 15 years and 42 days old. Well, no, actually, that's not true. He's going to be a bit more. It's 15 years and 42 days that he spends at this swamp.
Yes. I thought he was saying Aunt May to start with, but the character's called Edme.
Yes.
And she's played by Annie Potts.
Yeah.
Who is also a big name to be in a film like this. And she basically raises him.
She does.
She raises him.
She lives on her own in a cabin.
In the middle of the bayou.
Yeah.
Literally nobody anywhere near her. We find out why quite soon, which was one of my favourite lines in the film. Arlo then sings a song. It's a song about his friends and his friendships that he's made or not made in this bayou over the years. Because he's not kind of settled in. He's kind of out of place.
He's really friendly. He's really enthusiastic.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy.
But in where he is,
he's an outcast.
Yeah, but he's so like you say, he's part human, part animal.
Yeah.
He's just surrounded by like frogs. And,
animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not interested in it.
No. He's got a friend frog.
Yeah.
Was it called Geronimo or something?
Yeah.
Which was quite funny.
But the song's called More, 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 and he's talking about how he wants to get out, he wants to see what else is out in the world. We've been here before. And
yeah.
I thought it was a really good song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Might have been the best song in it.
Yeah, probably.
Which is a bit of a shame.
Because it comes really early on.
Yeah.
This film's not going to be remembered for its songs.
No, that would be my criticism.
Yeah.
Was that I didn't come away with thinking, none of these songs are really memorable.
Could it get away with not being a musical? Probably.
But it does a lot of its storytelling
It does.
through the music.
It does indeed.
And I thought we'll get to it later on, but the one where they're on the beach and Bertie and Arlo make friends, I thought that was a really good use to tell that story in a short amount of time. But I didn't really get down with the song.
Yeah, that's fair enough. During this song, he sees a paddle boat.
Yes.
I think that's what they're called.
Yep.
One of these like
paddle steamers. And
he gets spotted by a young child.
Yeah.
But then he hides. He hides in the canopy, which was really funny because it was just a curtain.
Yes.
And I really liked that.
I did as well. So he goes back into the swamp, into the thicket.
Yeah.
But it's just a curtain.
Yeah.
With paints of the mangroves in front of it. It was made me laugh as well.
He realises on his way home that he was supposed to get dinner.
Yeah.
But he didn't get dinner because he was too busy singing this song. So he just grabs a load of snails and stuff and shit and stuff and horrible stuff and takes that back to Edme.
She's on him straight away. She knows he didn't hunt properly.
Yeah.
Because she makes him like taste the snail. Because she says, "Have you checked if it's ripe or not?" And then you get this kind of almost like it's almost a bit like Ren and Stimpy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And SpongeBob used it a bit as well, where you get the close up of like the tongue doing something disgusting, tasting the snail.
It has a nice animation style. This film does, but
yeah.
it has taken a lot from that sort of 90s Nickelodeon style. I think she figures she knows straight away that he's not done well.
He's not hunted properly. Yeah, he's just
not
grabbed some stuff.
And he opens up to her at this point. And he says, "Look, I love it here. I love the swamp, but it doesn't. It's never really felt like home. It's not where I belong.
Because there's something more for me.
Missing in his life." So she says, "Right, I've got you a gift. I have a gift for you." Now he won't open this gift because it isn't his birthday.
Sure.
So he makes her pretend that it's his birthday, and I really like that as well. I thought that was really funny. She quickly made him a cake and got some streamers and stuff, and then he opened this gift.
There's a lot of SpongeBob to Arlo, actually, isn't there? In that sort of wide-eyed naivete, but happy to go on the adventure. And you can see a lot of the similarities.
Yeah, you can. Now you've said that, you're right. There is a very SpongeBob-y vibe to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. She sings a song at him at this point, and he opens his gift, and it's his baby tag from when he was a baby.
Yeah.
So he finds out his full name for the first time in his life. His name is Arlo Beauregard. Lovely name. He finds out that he was born in a hospital in New York called Bellevue Hospital, and the tag also has his dad's name listed. Did he have his dad's name?
Yeah, father.
Yes. So that's changed his life because he didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
He now knows where he needs to be in life. He needs to go and find his dad, and that's what the story of this film is.
Yeah, Ansel is his father.
Yes, Ansel Beauregard. He tells Geronimo, his frog friend, and he sings a bit of a slower song at this point about wanting to go but not wanting to go at the same time.
Yeah, this is Beyond These Walls.
Okay. Have you got the name of all the songs? That's impressive.
I'm not sure.
I didn't. I just wrote down what they're about.
May not have caught all of them.
But it's about, should I go? Should I stay? What am I waiting for if I do stay?
Yeah.
That's but it's
Would I regret it if I didn't go?
Yeah. And so he eventually makes the decision to go, and he goes out to tell. I've written to tell his aunt. So I thought she was called Aunt May, but she's called Ed May, and it's just his accent was confusing me. He goes out to tell Ed May that he's going to leave, and she says, "Yeah, you're right. You should. It's time."
She says, "Look, I've known this was always coming."
Yeah, she has no problem with him going off on his own at 15 to New York. No, she's right. Yeah, you're right. It's the time for you to go. You've got to go. And I think this is my favourite line from the film because he says, "You should come with me," and she says, "I can't because I've got a whole slew of warrants against me and I can't go back to prison." And I'm like, that's such a line for the adults that the kids would completely miss. I really enjoyed it. So, and he accepts it straight away. He's like, "Oh yeah, fair enough," and he just goes. So he leaves, and he leaves her there, and he goes over the lake or whatever it is, and he sees this young couple in a car.
Yeah, so he's at the next town over. Basically,
he's gone to the town.
Yeah.
And he goes to say hello to this young couple because he's naive and he's never met people before.
It's that SpongeBob thing again. It's like, hello.
Hi, I'm Arlo. I'm a half boy, half alligator. Yeah. He's never met... He says later on this is the first people he's ever met. He's never met people before. And he scares the living shit out of them, as it would. And they give him their car. They run off down the hill.
They think they're being robbed or assaulted.
By an alligator.
And the guy says, "I'd take the car. I don't care."
Yeah. So they run off and leave him the car, and obviously he has no idea what to do with a car. And this was also quite funny.
Yeah, the land boat.
The land boat, as he calls it, yeah. And he presses all the buttons to try and figure out what to make it go.
Lambert.
Yeah, he's pressing all the buttons trying to make it go, and eventually he puts it into neutral.
Yeah,
which does make it go.
It's on a hill.
It makes him go backwards at speed. And he feels like he's driving it. He feels like he's got.
He's happy. There's obviously chaos in his trail.
Yeah, so he's reversing down the hill. He ends up in this town on two wheels, going around a roundabout, and he eventually gets thrown off this car and ends up in a sweet shop.
Well, he goes through a window and he ends up sliding along the counter of a sweet shop / ice cream factory.
Yeah.
And ends up with everyone who's sitting at the bar, so all their ice creams end up in his mouth.
Yeah.
He's never tasted
sweet stuff. Sugar before. He's eaten snails.
Yeah.
So he has a bit of a sugar rush.
He does.
Which is really funny. It's just him running through ice cream fields and stuff. It really made me laugh. And then we meet our bad guys of this film, I guess, for the first time.
Yeah, just as Arlo crashes.
Yeah.
So he crashes and he's passed out near a mailbox, isn't he?
Yeah. So it cuts away from him for a little bit and we meet... I didn't catch their names. Did you catch their names?
So you've got Ruff.
Yeah.
And Stucky.
Ruff and Stucky.
Stucky's the female.
Yeah.
Ruff was the redneck guy.
So basically they run... like boat trip adventures in the bayou to meet alligators.
See alligator experience.
Yes, they run this adventure, but there's no alligators left in the bayou, so it's kind of failing. They've got a cuddly one, and they show
like a sinking hoverboat. Is it called a hoverboat? What are those things called? They're in Gentle Ben.
I think they're called hoverboats. They have a big fan on the back.
Yeah,
I think they're called. I don't know, swamp boats. And they get a call from somebody in the town that says, "You need to come to town. There's a half boy, half alligator here who do your business wonders." They now then spend the rest of the film chasing him.
Yes, it's a chase movie.
It's a chase movie. So they head into town, chase him through the town a little bit, and then lose him in a bottom of the stream staple because they lose him in a train yard.
Oh, they sure do.
So
I thought as well.
even in animated films, we can't get away from these bottom of the stream tropes that keep appearing. And then I've written here, a giant lady saves him.
I've just put Arlo's rescued by a giantess who is a vegan.
A vegan giant lady.
Yeah.
This is Bertie. Bertie becomes Arlo's best friend at this point.
She's got super strength.
Yeah,
She picks up like a train car.
She picks up a train car and throws it at these people. They manage to escape.
Yeah.
They escape by sitting. She's a giant. She's massive.
Yeah.
She's as big as the train. And they manage to escape by sitting on top of the train and escaping wherever they were. And this is the start of the journey of this film now.
And the villains follow in their truck.
Dilapidated old truck.
Yeah.
And they have a bit of a bonding session on the train, don't they? And Arlo describes her as his best friend because she's the only person he's ever really met.
Yeah, she says, and this might be my favourite line in the film, she says to him, well, if I'm your best friend, how many people have you ever met? And he says, 10, 8 of them today.
Yeah.
Which I like.
And he says to her, look, I'm going to New York. Come to New York with me. Let's just go on an adventure.
She's not sure.
She's not sure.
Eventually
she doesn't stay in one place very often
Yeah.
because she doesn't get accepted in the world because she's a giant. But before she makes the decision, the baddies turn back up again and they manage to stop the train.
Yes.
They just park in front of it and the train stops. They have a beast that's described as the beast. It's just a massive dog. Yeah. And it does appear quite a lot in this film.
The beast has been kept in this, like you say, in this alligator experience, caged up, and it's just their hench.
Dog creature thing. But long story short, again, Arlo and Bertie do manage to escape for a second time. And they stumble on an illegal fight club.
Yeah, like a redneck fight club.
Yeah. Which I was not
like
expecting.
Spit and sawdust.
It was very much like that one from a few weeks ago.
In
that
Triple
film.
Threat.
No.
I was thinking of
Triple Threat.
Yeah,
it was Triple Threat. Yeah. There was just this underground fight club going on, and they managed to stumble across it. And there's a fight going on.
Yeah.
And it's a man,
a
big redneck man in dungarees, fighting a pink furball.
Yeah. In like knee socks.
Yeah. It's just a pink ball of fur
with eyes,
with really long legs and arms.
Yeah.
Like a Mr. Man almost.
Yeah, I guess.
The fight's really good, but it ends up with this furball winning, which starts a riot. And everything starts kicking off, doesn't it? And
yeah, because a guy called Teeny Tiny Tony, who is this like rat guy,
we'll never not laugh at that.
He's like taking bets, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's
they're running a scam, basically,
basically.
aren't they? And he's taking all the money, and Felicia, as we find out she's called, wins the fight.
Felicia,
because of the fur.
Yeah, that's right.
But in the chaos of what's going on, this riot that started, Teeny Tiny Tony loses the bag of money.
He does.
And who should end up with the bag of money? Arlo.
Yeah.
Gets this big bag of money. They all escape, and they all get back to the bus that they were in, their mini bus thing, except for Arlo isn't there.
No, he's
So
kind of got stranded in the middle of the fight pit.
Even Bertie's out. She's managed to escape, but they've all left Arlo behind. Bertie goes back in. She basically beats everybody up and saves Arlo. And we've got a team now.
Yeah.
So
we also meet Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Who is a tiger.
Yeah, she's the humanoid tiger.
She's the wheelman or wheel
She's
tiger.
the driver. Felicia, Teeny Tiny Tony, and Bertie and Arlo. That's your team now. You've got 5 of them. They bond. Again, Arlo's a really nice guy. He's happy to be just chatting with anybody. They all make friends. And he's like, let's all go to New York. We've got a car. It's a minibus, isn't it? We get on this minibus. Teeny Tiny Tony's happy to help because Arlo's got the money.
Also, he can see dollar signs with Bertie
because she's a fighter.
He wants to go to another town and repeat the Fight Club scam, but with her.
Unfortunately, Arlo's so naive that he gave the money back to the people in the Fight Club, which Teeny Tiny Tony was not very happy about. I'm never going to call him Tony, by the way. He's always going to be Teeny Tiny Tony. So Teeny Tiny Tony says, we will all go to New York, but we've got a friend who is locked up.
You need to help us with something.
And you need to help us get him out because you're an alligator.
Yeah. He says, I've got a friend. He's in an aquarium.
Yeah.
And we need to bust him out.
Yeah.
I really liked this joke.
Go on.
Because, it's all set up like we're going to get this big heist. And we're going to go and rescue this guy.
Yeah. And
then it all happens off screen.
It does.
And I found it really funny.
It was really funny. So basically going to take Arlo to this aquarium so we can bust this guy out of this aquarium and he can join the team. We cut away from that, and while we were away from that, that's what happens. And we cut back to the bad guys, and they've turned up at this fight club now, so they're like a little bit behind.
They're interrogating the
and they've got
locals.
one of the locals tied up, and then I think they kill him because
the beast drags
him off, kicking and screaming, and he's kind of dragging his fingernails across the floor as he goes, and we never see this dude again. It's a bit dark, that.
Yeah, it is a bit.
I feel like they killed that dude. Then we cut to the aquarium.
Yeah.
Arlo goes inside.
The fun bus parks up outside.
Yeah.
Arlo goes inside.
There's some kerfuffle goes on.
And
then comes back out with
Marcellus,
sorry. Who's a fish.
He's a merman.
He's a merman.
But he's reverse.
Yeah, so he's got legs, human legs and arms.
Yeah.
But he's a fish.
Yeah.
He's got fish body and a fish head.
I loved this character.
Marcellus was the best character.
So he's got
apart from Teeny Tiny Tony.
He's got these horrible hairy man legs.
Yeah.
He's wearing Speedos. And then his top half's a
fish.
Oh,
and he's really like gruff and rude.
Yeah.
And he is brilliant.
It's really funny.
If anything, he was underused. And so he joins the team. So we've got a team of...
He hates kids.
He hates kids because he lives in an aquarium.
Yeah, this is the running joke. So because kids just would stare at him and tap on the glass.
Yeah. And he tells this story by the campfire that night, doesn't he? Because they tell it like it's a scary story of these kids attacking the glass. And then they all get some sleep. They all go to sleep by this campfire. Arlo wakes up in the middle of the night, notices that Bertie isn't there. Bertie's a big dude, or big girl. And he notices straight away that she's not there. And he finds her sitting by the ocean.
Yeah, she's being sad looking out.
They're not far out from it's like not far away from where they were, but she's just being sad sitting out looking to sea. And she says she can't sleep because she says, I don't stay in one spot ever.
Yep.
I constantly just move around in the world. And so she says, I'll get you to your dad. I'll get you to New York and to your dad, but then I'm going to hit the road and I'll move on. And she sings a song at this point about the ocean, basically.
It is, but it's also about being uncomfortable in your body. It's about, how lonely she is and she's been picked upon. And again, being lonely out in the vastness of the ocean.
I thought this song had real Greatest Showman vibes.
Yes.
Like it really felt like a proper ballad, Greatest Showman style ballad. Because that's what that
was very musical theatre, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
And that's what that film's all about, being comfortable in your own skin. And
sure. And this, I liked the storytelling they did with the animation. I wasn't particularly set on the song itself.
No, not at all.
But gradually through the song, everyone from the group joins in, don't they? And they kind of, it's used as a bonding montage.
They all become best friends.
They're becoming a family, aren't they?
They are, yeah. Arlo finds a seashell oyster.
Yeah.
And he gives it to Bertie as a friendship token.
He says this is a best friend rock.
This is a best friend rock. No, it's not a rock. So Bertie opens it up and there's a pearl inside it, which he throws away.
Yeah.
And he splits it in half and he's like, 2 best friend rocks. And they both take one each. And then, not messing about at all in this film.
We're in New York.
We arrive in New York the next day. They park the bus. Aaliyah parks the bus. The bus instantly gets towed because they're in New York. Then there's a whole I'm walking here montage.
So the only line everyone says in New York is just, I'm walking here.
Any human in New York, that's all they ever say. And it's brilliant.
It's funny.
It is so funny.
So that's all you can hear as they're walking through the streets. It's just, I'm walking here, I'm walking here, I'm walking here.
And every time they walk past somebody, and it's probably offensive to New Yorkers, but it's really funny. The bus gets towed. Teeny Tiny Tony swims in a pizza.
Yeah, they all kind of separate and
they go off in
do their own touristy bit, don't they? So like Marcellus goes and hides in the fountain in Central Park and jumps out at kids
and scares kids. Teeny Tiny Tony goes to a pizzeria.
It's just the image of like this Speedo clad thing just like
jumping out of that,
presenting itself in front of children.
I've been to that fountain in New York. There's always loads of kids around it. Yeah, Tony goes to a pizza. Felicia goes to get her hair done.
Yeah.
I've written it's just a mischief montage. They're all getting into trouble just all around New York. It's funny. And then the montage ends with us seeing the 2 bad guys also arriving in New York.
Yeah, they're just on the bridge, aren't they, coming into the city?
Yeah. And then they all meet back up in Times Square, so they all get back together. And then another bottom of the stream trope arrives in the form of a news report.
Well, just before that, they're in Times Square and the group are having a conversation. What? No one told us that New York was big.
Yeah.
How the hell are we going to find your dad?
Yeah.
there's loads of people. I think Teeny Tiny Tony says, there's thousands of people here. What are we going to do?
Yeah. And then the news report starts because bottom of
Very
the stream
convenient.
film wouldn't be the bottom of the stream film without a news report. And it's a news reporter interviewing a businessman, philanthropist, I guess.
Architects, yeah.
And then his name appears on the screen.
Sure.
And his name is...
Ansel Beauregard.
So this is Arlo's dad. Straight away, we found him.
Yep.
I love films like this. And he's putting in he's investing money in New York, in all the boroughs in New York, and taking rundown areas and doing them up.
He's doing some good old gentrification.
He is. And he's currently, I was about to announce, is the fact that he's going to transform a town that's called Seaside by the Seashore, which is a great name for a town. And it's the town that he grew up in.
Sure.
So he is tonight hosting the Met Gala, which is an actual thing.
Yeah.
And he's going to reveal his plans at the Met Gala of how he's going to rejuvenate the town of Seaside by the Seashore.
Yeah. They now know exactly
Where
where
he's
he's going to be that evening.
All they need to do is find his address. So Teeny Tiny Tony says, I've got some contacts in New York.
Yeah.
Give me 5 minutes. He goes off to a phone box, comes back with the address.
Which is ridiculous.
Of course it is.
Because, yeah, but no, 5 minutes ago he said, I don't know how we're going to find this guy. They already knew his name. So
True.
nothing's changed.
That's true. All right, you're looking into it too deep. That is true. He gets it straight away and they go... This is quite funny as well because they're like, right, it's way uptown. And then the subway station's got uptown and then way uptown.
Yeah.
If that's where it goes to. So they head uptown or way uptown. And they get to this house where this Met Gala is being held. And...
No, they don't get to the Met Gala first. They go straight to his skyscraper.
I'm sorry, yeah, they do go to his house. Sorry.
It's a golden skyscraper.
Yeah, where he lives. And there's kind of a goodbye scene here because Arlo's like, they're all like, well, we're not coming in with you. We've achieved what we came here to achieve. Go in there, meet your dad and enjoy your new life.
And they say, he says, oh, well, aren't you going to wait for me? And they say, no, look, Arlo, you've improved all our lives.
Yeah.
He's going to love you.
Yeah.
Because you're a good person and we'll see you later.
Yeah. So they leave and he goes in and it doesn't quite work out like that.
Of course it doesn't.
Because Ansel pretty much dismisses him straight away. He's like,
he won't answer the question, will he?
No.
To be honest.
No. And then he sings a song it's basically about being rich and having no commitments in life.
It's about building a better life for yourself by mixing with important people and get a new suit, get some posh clothes. Be someone else. It's the anti-message of this movie.
Yeah.
Don't be yourself.
Yeah.
Be fake.
Yeah. And that all comes about towards the end. But the song ends with Ansel putting Arlo back in the lift and the door shutting and him just wandering off.
Yeah.
So when Arlo gets back outside, obviously everybody's gone. He's now on his own in New York. And there's a bit of a
posh suit.
In a posh suit. I'm going to come to that in a minute.
Okay.
Something weird happened here for me. There's a sad montage. And during this sad montage, he strips this suit off.
Yeah.
Which leaves him naked.
Yeah.
Now, he's been naked all the way through this film. But it just felt odd that he was now naked after he'd been wearing a suit. And it was like, I don't know why I find that weird.
It was for me, because I've written something similar. I'll just put that he strips to be a naked alligator boy.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that he was doing it as he was just like walking
down the street. But he was naked the whole film before this.
He had something on at the
I don't think he did.
He wasn't naked in the bayou.
Was he not?
No.
So he's just happy with being naked now?
Yeah.
Okay. It threw me a little bit. I was like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. It seems a bit weird that he's just stripped off in public.
But he does.
Yeah, he goes for a swim.
Yeah, he winds his way back to Central Park.
Yeah, he goes to Central Park, goes for a swim, and he ends up in the sewers where this all began.
He doesn't really go for a swim. He just floats, doesn't he?
Yeah,
and he gets carried
to the sewers. And he sings a song. It's about washing the hurt away from him.
Yeah.
And he wakes up on a beach.
He does.
And coincidentally...
about 10 metres away...
are the other people that he's been with the whole time. They don't spot him straight away, though, because Bertie finds his friendship rock.
Yeah.
Or his little seashell. And that's what leads her to find him. And she finds him. He's really sad that his dad didn't want him. He doesn't really know what to do with his life now.
Yeah, he catches the rest of them up on what's happened.
Yeah, Bertie tries to help by telling her story, and you get a bit of a backstory on her at this point. They have a hug, and then Marcello pops out of a fridge and just goes, "Get a room, why don't you?" Which again is purely it's an adult joke for the adult people. But he's instantly realises what he said, and he gets embarrassed by it, and he's like, to share your feelings in, obviously. And it actually made me laugh out loud. It was quite a funny line. And it turns out they're in Seaside by the Seashore.
Of course they are.
They're in this town that is run down that Ansel's about to do up. The others convince him, look, let's try this again.
It's pep talk time, isn't it?
Let's try this again. Let's go to this Met Gala that's happening tonight.
Yep, we'll come with you.
We'll come with you. We'll come with you and we'll convince him.
Yeah.
We'll talk him round. It'll all be fine. Marcelo says, I'm only going if there are no kids there. I'm not going if there's any kids there. Instantly, we cut to the Met Gala where a load of kid boy band has just arrived.
Yeah, it's like the Jonas Brothers.
He says, I'm not going with these kids. And then the boy band are called These Kids. Yeah. And the baddies also show up there.
But our gang, Arlo and the guys, they go to the back of the building.
They sneak in.
Whereas the Beast and Rust and Stucky are on the red carpet.
Yeah, that's quite funny.
They don't get stopped.
No, they just get photographed. It's quite funny, actually. And we that's the first time we really see the Beast for what it is, and it is just a massive dog. And it starts posing for photos and stuff. It's a funny moment. And then Ansel comes out. We're in this Met Gala.
Yeah, just before that, you get a few establishing sort of shots around, obviously people wearing ridiculous costumes. And then I really like this joke. So there's presumably a famous posh person at the bar.
Yeah.
And she orders a drink. There's a martini glass and the waiter pours a load of liquid into it. And then he gets a Van Gogh painting and grates it as like the garnish onto this drink. And then the celebrity picks up the drink and then just pours it on the floor. That just really made me laugh.
I imagine that's exactly the sort of thing that happens at the Met Gala.
Not far from the truth, I would like to believe.
Exactly right. Ansel comes out, gets introduced, comes out, makes his speech to the crowd, reveals his plans for Seaside by the Seashore. Arlo interrupts him because Bertie lifts him above the crowd.
Yeah.
So he's kind of standing on this pedestal, which is Bertie's hand. And he gets completely ignored to start with.
Yeah, they can't hear him.
They can't hear him. And then, and Bertie says to him, sing, because singing is what you do. You're a singer. So he does. He starts singing this song. And eventually it becomes a duet with his dad.
Yeah.
And Arlo says, look, and it ends with them ending up backstage, doesn't it? The two of them. And the song goes on and on.
This was one of the better songs. Song,
yeah. And it ends it with the both of them backstage. And Arlo says to him, look, I don't need you to accept me. I just need the truth. And whether you want to know me or not, just tell me the truth.
Yeah.
And
are you my dad?
Are you my dad? And just as Ansel's about to reveal the truth, the baddies show up.
Rust and Stucky.
They show up and they
drag Arlo away.
They take him. They've got him. Finally got him.
And Ansel's like frozen and he doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do anything. He just lets them go.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they need to leave through the crowd.
Of course.
And Bertie's still in the crowd. So she sees them. She sees them dragging Arlo. Fight happens because she instantly then gets attacked by the Beast. She's not taken out, but she's taken out of the fact that she's trying to save Arlo. The fight's going on whilst Arlo's being dragged out. And then something flies down from the ceiling.
A flash of shadow
flies down from the ceiling, grabs Arlo away from these two people, lifts him up over the crowd, and starts flying around the room with him. And they land on the stage. And it turns out it's his dad, or Ansel. And he's a bird man.
He is, yeah. He's got little thin bird legs.
Yeah, so he takes his disguise off, I guess.
Yeah.
And his wings are exposed, and he exposes himself to the crowd.
Yeah.
His upper half is a man, and his lower half is a bird. He admits that Arlo is his son. Makes that statement to the crowd in public, and he tells his story.
Yeah, we get a flashback.
So basically his story is that he was bullied as a kid for being a half man, half bird.
This is over at Seaside by the Seashore.
Yes, where he grew up. So he started to hide it. He started wearing suits, started to hide it. That made him more powerful.
And he said his goal was he wanted to become rich and powerful so he could go back and tear the place down.
Which is his plan.
Yeah.
He's going to do it up, but he's also going to tear it down.
Somewhere along the line he met a girl.
Yep.
Now this was interesting because all we get is a quick shot of it's definitely a lady.
Yep.
Leaning on a car.
Yeah.
She's got a trench coat on, a hat, so you never see her face or anything.
No, you don't.
She was definitely green.
She was.
So I presume we've got a crocodile lady.
Yeah. Or alligator.
Yeah. Because that's the name of the film.
Yeah.
Good point.
It's not Arlo the crocodile boy.
We've got an alligator lady.
Yes. Arlo has taken the alligator from his mum and the boy part of his dad and become an alligator boy.
Yeah.
Because it would have been bad if he'd have become a alligator bird.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't want to be a half bird, half
No.
alligator. A bird woman. That would be weird as well. But again, there's no mention of his mum in this film.
No,
that's just
we
a
don't
passing.
know what happens to her.
She's never even mentioned, other than the fact that you see her briefly there.
There was a woman.
There was a woman
who existed.
involved,
Yeah.
but Arlo never even mentions her. He's never interested in who his mother was.
Which is, now thinking about it, is a
Bit
bit
strange.
odd.
Yeah, it is a bit. So yeah, he wanted to rip this town down. He met this woman, and he gave his son up because he didn't want his secret life to be exposed.
Yeah.
He didn't want the fact that he was a bird person that had spawned an alligator person to be exposed to these rich and powerful people that he's living with now. So he put him in the sewers, I guess. As people do. There's a joke about flushing alligators down the sewers. It's where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came from. People getting flushed down the sewers in New York.
So they have a happy hug.
Yep.
And Ansel asks Arlo to stay. He says, "You stay, come and live with me.
And
I
Arlo
want to
says,
make up for lost time."
and Arlo says, no.
Yeah, he says, "No thanks."
I've got a new family.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay with my
They
new
need
family.
me.
They need me. And then Ansel's all lonely.
It's really, this made me laugh because he goes like, "Oh, cool. It's not like I'm desperately lonely or anything."
Yeah. And then the group grab him and hug him and take him aboard
He's
as well.
enveloped.
So he becomes part of that family as well. And Arlo and Bertie have a bit of a moment. We're coming right to the end of the film now. And Arlo says to Bertie, look, we're a family now. We can keep moving if that's what you want to do. And she doesn't want to.
As long as we're together.
Yeah, but she doesn't want to. She wants to settle. And so Ansel says to them, I know a town that you lot can go live in. So he gives them Seaside by the Seashore as their town. And the film kind of ends on a montage of them doing up this town.
Yeah, fixing it up.
And they fix it up. They don't do what Ansel's plans were.
No.
They fix up what's already there. But it looks
loads
nice.
of people help them.
Teeny Tiny Tony gets his own pizzeria.
Yeah. Felicia gets a
hairdressing salon.
place.
And the film ends on a montage, which I think is a first.
Marcellus just goes and lives in a fountain.
Yeah, he just lives in the fountain in this town. But I don't think we've ever had a film end on a montage before, but
Not that I can
I'll
think
take
of.
it.
Is it? Well, it's a montage, but it's a musical number.
Yeah, it's a musical number, but it's a montage. The film ends, and then there is a brief after credit scene of Ed May gets a postcard from Arlo, just saying, "I'm here if you're ever free. Come and visit us if you want. You might end up in prison, but come and visit us if you want." And that's the end of the film. What do you think, Nick?
I really enjoyed it.
I did as well. I had a lot of fun with it. It isn't something I'd normally watch. I live on my own. I have no need to watch animated films. There's a lot of big animated films in the past that I've not seen. And I don't have a lot of experience with them. But I did really enjoy it.
There was just enough in this for adults as well.
Yeah, there was.
Little winks and nods.
It was very Nickelodeon, wasn't it? Like we said, SpongeBob, Rugrats, that sort of style of, you can watch it as a kid, but you could also get, like Rocko's Modern Life, for instance. You can always get something out of it as a kid, as an adult as well. Yeah. There was a lot of that to it.
Most, the songs were catchy. They weren't great. The first, like I say, I really liked more. It looked really nice.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
I preferred the look of the first 20 minutes of this film when he's in the bayou.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So much going on.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. There's, like we said, loads of little animals jumping around on and off screen.
That little bit where he just puts the curtain back.
Yeah.
That's really clever, but there was no any more of
Purely on looks terms, it was a bit less interesting when they got to New York.
The bayou looks better than New York did. Yeah. Definitely.
But the story was pretty strong. I do think, like I said, this is a really strong and positive message about equality and people working together, no matter what your background is, be nice to each other.
Yeah. That's all this film is, isn't it? It's like, Arlo is just the personification of nice.
Yeah.
He has not got a bad bone in his body. He doesn't understand why people can be bad.
He doesn't see, you're different.
Even the bad guys, when they get him, he's still like chatting away to them as if they're his best mates. He doesn't have anything bad about him. And it's like, be more Arlo in life. Just be more Arlo.
And it flew by. I really enjoyed it.
It really did.
It turns out, we kind of mentioned this at the start, this is kind of a launch project for a whole animated series.
Yes.
There's, did you say 19 episodes?
Something like that.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
They're all sort of 15 to 20 minutes
minutes
long. And the premise of that series, called Heart Arlo,
I presume I love Arlo, yeah, but Heart Arlo.
it's about these guys going about their life in Seaside by the Seashore.
Okay, so it's a sequel.
It's a
continuation of the story.
But I think, which is again, it's interesting that they made a movie because there's no reason why you couldn't just do a series. And this is where these people live.
No, probably not.
So the fact you've got this whole backstory in the form of this movie is quite interesting. That sort of joined up project.
It's unusual, isn't it? The film could have been season 1 and the season 1 could be season 2. It's unusual to have a movie that spins into a TV show. That was clearly the plan from the start.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They've come out so soon next week. They both come out this year. So there's obviously the plan. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'm not saying I'll ever go and watch any of the TV show. But I enjoyed this movie.
Would your kids enjoy it?
I would. I will watch it with them. I'll tell you what. Yeah. And we'll see what they think.
It seems like there's one of them especially seems like she would really get something out of it. Yeah, I was interesting to see. I don't know if you'd have watched it with them at the time. Or...
I didn't have time to get it done in time for us to record, but I will do that over the weekend.
Yeah,
and report back.
Yeah, it'll be interesting just to see what they think of it. Get a kid's perspective on it. Record it, see what they say.
I'll do it. We can have some feedback for.
They always seem to appear at Halloween. I don't know why.
Next week's wave.
The first year they were on at Halloween. What else do we do in this show? Oh, we need to. What was your favourite part of the film? What's your favourite thing about the film? That's the hidden gem.
It's Marcellus.
The pearl in the oyster. There genuinely is a pearl in the oyster. It is Marcellus. It's 100. It's either Marcellus.
Just the look of him just made me chuckle.
It is funny. I really enjoyed Teeny Tiny Tony as well. I love that name, and I think that was my favourite thing about it. Because he was a little guy called Tony. They just called him Teeny Tiny. And Arlo kept getting it wrong all the time as well. He called him Small Tony a couple of times. Yeah. He called him Tiny Tony a couple of times. It was just really funny.
It's just the way that the ridiculous way in which they're representing, like I say, minorities in this movie. It was just effective.
All of them were
to dress that up in this kid. Yeah, exactly. It really worked for me. And Marcellus, just the look of him, and just it was just funny, like comic relief.
Yeah, that when he pops out of that fridge and says "get a room," and then instantly realizes what he said.
Like he knows he's in a kids movie.
Yeah. He's like, "Shit, I'm in a kids movie." What would you change about it?
It feels like a cop out for me to say better songs.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that's all it needs.
But I didn't feel like there was an earworm in this.
No, if there was, it was the first one. Yeah, I feel like you're right. I feel like the songs are the only thing that needs improving about it. I don't know if the TV show's musical or not.
I'm not sure.
Don't know.
When I compare it to. I know we've not done many musicals.
We've done one.
We've done 2.
Have we?
Yeah.
Have we really?
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Which one are you thinking of?
Emo the Musical.
Anna and the Apocalypse.
Of course. How did I forget that? It's our third musical. That's ridiculous.
So when I think about Anna and the Apocalypse, I remember that film was really strong for the first half because the songs were excellent.
Yeah.
And it was a fun story anyway. But they took it to the next level, and then it dropped off.
I think I remember saying the same thing about Emo the Musical. I think the songs were what carried that film.
Yeah.
I think I vaguely remember. It's been a long time. Yeah. Like 2 years ago.
For sure. That would be my... Yeah. I don't know how to write a song.
No, I don't
I've never done it. So it's not a criticism as such, but that's what I think I wanted a bit more.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. I think that's the only thing I'd change about it. Yeah. I think everything else is just really well done.
But I love the visuals. I love the style. I like the animation style, the character design, like I say, the backgrounds, particularly when they were in the swamp. I thought, what was the aunt's name again?
Edme.
I thought she was a great character.
She wasn't his aunt. She was just Edme. But it sounded, the way Arlo said it, sounded like he was saying Aunt May quite often.
And her sort of ramshackle
she was great.
House in the bayou was just really, I loved the look of that. And I was less taken by Ansel, both in his design and but
it reminded me of it's going to sound ridiculous, but he looked and reminded me a little bit of Bird Person from Rick and Morty. Yes. I think that's probably where they got that from.
Yeah.
But
once the reveal came, they wanted you to go, oh, actually, he's got a bit of a beak for a nose.
Yeah. But no, I'd recommend it. If you've got kids, just watch this film with them. For sure. They're going to enjoy
animation.
It.
This is a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no issue watching this on my own as a 40-year-old man. There's big animated films that I haven't seen because it's weird to watch an animated film on your own.
Yeah.
So, and I had no issue with this. It was fun.
Great.
Stream Table. There's only one film in it.
There's 2 now.
There's 2 now. This one, I presume, is going to the top.
It is going to the top.
Because it's better than Containment.
Yes.
The Stream Table is really easy at this point in the season. It's towards the end when it gets hard.
Yeah. This is the best thing we've seen in our 2 movies.
What would you rate it on the last season's Stream Table? I think it's right up there.
I think it's pretty high.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's definitely top 10.
Yeah, it might be.
And I think it might be
top 5.
Yeah. I think it'd hold its own.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a fun time.
It is a fun time. That's what we're here for.
That's what we're all about.
That's what we're all about. Shall we pick next week's film?
Yes.
What are you looking for from next week? What do you think we need? What does the stream table scream that it needs so far?
All we've had is a quasi-zombie movie.
With no zombies in.
And an animation. So the world is our oyster, pretty much.
It is, pretty much.
Let's go for I want a drama.
Drama?
Yeah.
Thriller?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to press...
I want to be on the edge of my seat.
I'd love that. That barely ever happened. I'm going to press the button. Are you ready?
Yes.
Hello, it's Future Adam here. I'm just in the middle of editing this episode together, and it has come to light that the film that was picked by the randomizer this week is a film called Arkansas. Now, unfortunately, that is leaving Netflix, so we have had to respin the randomizer off air. Nick's not even here. I'm recording on my own. It's really weird. I don't like it. The randomizer has picked a film called Secret Obsession, so we're going to watch that this week, and it is a thriller about a girl recuperating from trauma who remains in danger as she returns to a life she doesn't remember. And it stars Brenda Strong, Mike Vogel, and Dennis Haysbert. So go out and watch that, and we'll go from there. So what I'm going to do now is edit this bit of clip in, and then it'll all be so seamless you won't even notice what's happened. In the meantime, you can go and check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd at BOTS_podcast. If you want to drop us an email, the email address is bottomofthestream@gmail.com. If you want to go on the website is www.bottomofthestream.com. On there, you'll find every episode we've ever recorded, all 5 season stream tables, loads of other cool stuff, and you can even get some Bottom of the Stream merch if you want a Bottom of the Stream
bin bag.
So do all that. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/bottom of the stream. On there, for a couple of quid every month, you will get early access to episodes. You'll get bonus episodes. You will get a newsletter that Nick writes every month. You will get a wild card if you come in at the top level, so you can pick the film that we watch. We're going to be 3 episodes in and nobody's used the wild card yet. That's unusual. I wonder if they've all forgotten they've got them.
There's plenty of time.
There's plenty of time left. And then finally, come and check us out on Discord. We have a lot of fun in Discord. We didn't mention the movie night we had.
Oh, yeah, let's
briefly mention that. We should have done that on the wave. We had a movie night, a live action movie night on Discord.
A watch along.
That's the word. A couple of people from the Discord came and watched the film with me and Nick. We watched it, streamed it live through Discord. Well, it's through Amazon. Amazon did this thing now where you can have a watch party and you can watch live online with people. Yeah. That was really cool. I really enjoyed it. We watched the original Left Behind.
Yeah.
So not the Nicolas Cage remake that we did in the last season. We watched the Christian, and it was better. It was a completely different film. It's not what I was expecting at all. I was expecting the same film, just without Nicolas Cage in it.
It was like the Nicolas Cage movie was the first 15 minutes of this
like
version.
2 scenes. Yeah. It was completely different. I was flabbergasted.
Extended out.
But it was still pretty shit, let's be honest. But we had a lot of fun. So come join us in the Discord. We'll do loads more of them. I'm sure we will. We're going to do the 2 sequels. That's happening. So come join us in the Discord. The Discord link will be at the bottom of the show notes.
If you can spare a few minutes, please leave us a review on, anywhere you can review podcasts. That could be Podbean, Podchaser, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else you can find us, because we're on all of them.
We are.
Maybe you could draw or animate as a review, and we will keep it close to our hearts forever.
I would love that. That would be great. So yeah, go and do all that. Go out and watch Secret Obsession, and we'll come back next week to talk to you about it.
Cheers.
Bye.